Good evening, guys. Today's story time is going to be about Chicken Little, and it's Chicken Little lived on a winding country lane surrounded by tall oak trees. It should be mentioned here that the name Little was a family name and not a Detarga size-based nickname. It was only by sheer coincidence that Chicken Little was also of shorter than average height. One day, Chicken Little was playing in the road when a gust of wind blew through the trees. An acorn was blown loose and hit Chicken Little squarely on the head. Now, while Chicken Little had a small brain in the physical sense, she did not use it to her best of her abilities. So when she screamed, "The sky is falling, the sky is falling," her conclusion was not wrong or silly or stupid, only logically underhanded. Chicken Little ran down the road until she came to the house of her neighbor, Henny Penny, who was tending her garden. This was a simple task since she did not use any insecticides, herbicides, fertilizer, and also permitted the native non-edible varieties of wildflowers, sometimes branded weeds, to mingle with her food crops. So lost amid the foliage, Henny Penny heard Chicken Little's voice long before she saw her. "The sky is falling, the sky is falling." Henny Penny struck her head out from her garden and said, "Chicken Little, why are you carrying on so?" Little said, "I was playing in the road when a huge chunk of the sky fell and landed on my head. See, here's the bump to prove it." "There's just one thing to do," said Henny Penny. "What's that?" asked Chicken Little. "Sue the bastards," said Henny Penny. Chicken Little was puzzled. Sue for what? "Personal injury, discrimination, intentional infliction of emotional distress, neglection, infliction, emotional distress, tortious interference, the torture of outrage, you name it, we'll sue for it." "Gracious," said Chicken Little, "what will we get for all this?" "We can get payment for pain and suffering, compensatory damages, punitive damages, disability, disfigurement, long-term care, mental anguish, impaired power, loss of esteem." "Oh, person," said Chicken Little joyfully. "Who are we going to sue?" "Well, I don't think the sky, per se, is recognized as a suable entity by the state," said Henny Penny. "I guess we should go find a lawyer and learn who is suable," said Chicken Little, her diminutive brain working over it. "That's a great idea. And while we're there, I can ask for whom to sue for the ridiculous bony legs of mine. They caused me nothing but anguish and embarrassment my whole life, and I should be compensated somehow for all that." So they ran further down the road until they came to the house of their neighbor, Goosey Lucy. Goosey Lucy was busy teaching her canine animal companion to eat grass so she could avoid the guilty feeling that came from feeding the dog's processed animal carcass from a can. "The sky is falling, the sky is falling. Sue the bastards, sue the bastards." Goosey Lucy leaned over her fence and said, "Slant snakes, why are you two carrying on so?" "I was playing in the road and a piece of the sky fell on my head," explained Chicken Little. "So we're going to find a lawyer to tell us whom we can sue for the injuries and for the bony legs. Oh God, I can come and sue someone for my long, gainy neck. You know, nothing really flatters. So I am convinced that there's a conspiracy within the fashion industry against long-necked fowls." So the three of them ran down the road looking for legal assistance. "The sky is falling, the sky is falling. Sue the bastards, sue the bastards. Smash the conspiracy, smash the conspiracy." Further down the road, they met Foxy Loxy, and was dressed in a blue suit carrying a briefcase. He held up a paw to halt the entourage. "And what are you three doing out on this lovely day?" asked Foxy Loxy. "We're looking for someone to sue," they shouted in unison. "We are grievances, personal injury, discrimination, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction, emotional distress, tortious interference, torch of outrage." "Oh, yes, yes," the three said excitedly. "All that and more. And then you're in luck," said Foxy Loxy. "My caseload has eased up, so I will be able to represent you in all the lawsuits we managed to bring." The trio cheered, flapped their wings. Chicken Little asked, "But who are we going to sue?" Without missing a beat, Foxy Loxy said, "Who aren't we going to sue? Three helpless victims such as yourself will be able to find more guilty parties than you can shake a writ at. Now, let's all sleep in my office so we can discuss this further." Foxy Loxy walked over to a small black metal door that was in the side of a small hilly nearby. "Step right this way," he said. He lifted the latch, but the black door wouldn't open. Foxy Loxy tugged on it with one paw, then with both. It still wouldn't budge. He yanked and pulled violently, cursing the door, its mental abilities, and its sexual history. Finally, the door swung open, and a huge ball of fire shot out. This was really the door to Foxy Loxy's oven. Uh-oh. But fortunately for him, the ball of fire engulfed his head, burned off every hair, and Whiskers left him totally catatonic. Chicken Little, Henny Penny, Goosey Goosey ran away, thankful for they had not been devoured. However, the family of the Fox Loxy caught up with them, in addition to suing the manufacturers of the oven door on behalf of the Fox Loxy. The family brought suit against the three above named barnyard fowls. Claim entrapment, reckless endangerment, and fraud. The family sought payment for pain and suffering, compensatory damages, punitive damages, disability, disfigurement, and long-term care, mental anguish, impaired earning power, loss of esteem, the loss of a good dinner. The three birds later bought a suit that they've all been battling in court from this day to do. The end. Hope you guys liked the story. Maybe another day I'll read The Frog Prince or Goldilocks and the Three Bears for you. The politically correct bedtime stories by James Garner, published in New York. And its first was published, copyright 1994 by James Finn Garner. And an introduction here, and the list of all the stories in here. There was a list in here, just can't find it now. Okay. And that one I read to you last night, Little Red Riding Hood. Rumpelstiltskin, there's one here about Rumpelstiltskin, the three codependent gold gruffs. And Rapunzel. There's Cinderella, Snow White, Chicken Little, what I read. So you guys let me know what you'd like me to read for you next time. Hope you guys enjoyed, and have a great night.